Here with the Kawasaki STX 1100, and today I'm going to be rebuilding this ebox here. So you can see the coating on it is flaked off. All these connectors are broken. The main battery wire there is loose, and then we have our new temp sensor that we got, so we gotta wire this in. So basically what I'm going to do now is just unassemble this. We're going to get the cover off. I'm going to strip the cover down with a wire wheel. I'm going to repaint the cover. Going to get all these connectors replaced and get this all back together. Then also you could see I've complained a couple of times on video, of course it's stuck in there, about this thing that someone put together. Gone ahead and bought a really nice Atlantis universal flush kit. All right, so first we've got these 10mm bolts holding the e-box together. There's quite a few of them, so we're going to go ahead and get those out. Okay, so here's a look at our e-box. It's actually in pretty good condition, other than these snapped off plastic connectors. Let's see, the coils. Yeah, this one's snapped. So we're going to be replacing, geez, I hope I bought enough of them. So anyway, what we're going to do is, I'm not going to paint the bottom half here, but so for the wiring part of this, what we're going to have to do is remove these one at a time, put the new connectors on, and then tighten this all back together. So I'm going to go grab the new connectors and we'll go from there. So here's our brand new connectors. I bought 5 of them, and it looks like we literally need 5 of them. Alright, so you can see I've got the first new one in place. That one was easy. This one here, look at all that corrosion on those pins. You can see it from here this far away. So these go into the CDI igniter box here. So having that corrosion, I'm sure that had to affect. Now you guys know I haven't got this ski in the water yet, because I'm still not going to get it in the water until I go through everything. So yeah, check that out. Anyway, we're going to have to pop these pins out of this clip in order to change that watertight connector. So this is just to show you every connector I've taken apart so far on this ski has just been full of corrosion. So now I've got 2 of these watertight connectors on the e-box replaced. So I'm just doing one at a time. As you can see with these clips, you have to pull the pins out of the clip very carefully. So it's just a process, got to go through and do each one, and hopefully they'll be good for another 25 years. Okay, so you can see the finish on this e-box is failing. I'm not going to remove the whole thing and paint it. Some die-hard enthusiasts might choose to do that, but my main concern was just with these watertight connectors here, which now all 4 have been replaced. I'm re-greasing all of the connectors in here. And then the lid here, we are going to paint. Okay, so we've got the e-box cover here painted. I just used some Rust-Oleum hammered finish that kind of hides the imperfections. There was a couple little, that's not actually grit in the paint or anything. That was actually bits of aluminum. I could have sanded it down, but I said, you know, it's good enough. And there's our new watertight fittings. I've greased all these connections in the box here, pulled all the plugs apart and re-greased them. These over here are original. The one was broken, but I was actually able to thread it in a little bit more, so I didn't have to replace that. And now we're going to get this all bolted back together and we'll be good to go. Alright, so our e-box is rebuilt. You know, I didn't unassemble. Some people might would have taken the whole thing out. If I had the facility to do so, I would have taken this out, bead blasted it, powder coated it, put it back in. So now you could see that the previous owner, some of these wires had touched the water box and the casings had melted a bit. So I'm going to go through, clean up all these, zip tie them all together, and then I showed you earlier, I've got this new flush kit from Atlantis that was replacing the terrible this thingamabob garbage. So I'm gonna get this installed. There's a couple more cosmetic things I have to do on this ski. I'm working on the seats right now. So as you can see, that footwell there is still pretty cloudy. I haven't put the traction mats in yet like I did on this side. So I'm gonna work on this a little bit more. I'm gonna have to get the DA out and just keep buffing this. I might try wet sanding part of it just because it was pretty bad, but this needs about another hour, 2 hours of work. So this side's looking great. We got this vinyl ready to go. It came out as good as I could get it. There was some variations in the foam, and so it looks good enough for me. It's not bolted on yet, it's just sitting there. So we've got our ebox basically rebuilt. We're gonna take care of all these wires with zip ties now. So some of the wire harnesses here were melted, and so there's these little zip tie mounts. They all kind of fell off. So I gotta get some new ones. But anyway, there's our harness. You can see it's got all new zip ties on it. It's all nice and neat. It is sitting on the exhaust manifold right now. It needs to be against the hull here, not directly touching the manifold. So I'm gonna go and order some more of these. I tried to re-glue these old ones on there, but they just, you know, I'm just gonna get new ones. They're not expensive. And now we're gonna change out our flush fitting with this brand new one from Atlantis. So I just wanted to show you, this is a great way to sink your ski. These are old hose clamps. They don't match. Wrong size. Yeah, that's kind of important because that's the main feed cooling line from the jet pump to the engine. So if that leaks or breaks, you'd be in trouble out in the water. So part of my process here, since I got this ski, is to go through everything. Also, for those of you who know the ski, this is not the correct hose here. There is a specially formed hose that goes from the exhaust pipe here into the head, and I do have that on order. So using various polishes and compounds, I finally got this. It's still a little bit, I don't know if it's, I think that's just some compound on there. Well, it's as good as I can get it right now, and looks good enough for me. So now time to fix these and then put the traction mats in place.